I'm going to kick this episode off with a bold claim. And that is this. If you've ever wanted to write a book, or you've ever had a thought about using a book to grow your business, or you've ever felt that feeling in your gut that says, I'm destined to write a book, then I believe that you can. I believe that you probably already have enough to write at least one book. Okay, but there are several limiting beliefs that I hear people say over and over and over again that stop them from writing their future bestseller, that stop them from actually doing the work to make their amazing knowledge, their amazing skill sets, their incredible transformations into a best-selling book. And so in this episode, I'm just going to break it down for you. I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to share the limiting beliefs that people have had or that I've had, and hopefully you will find one or two or three or all of them that you're like, oh my gosh, this is me. And I'm going to show you how we can overcome these. And ultimately, the big focus here is, can you take one of these limiting beliefs, recognize it, admit to yourself that that is what is stopping you, and then shatter that and break through that? Because that's what it's all about. All right, once you have this belief, we can rewire these beliefs. And when we rewire our beliefs, we start to have different thoughts. When we have different thoughts, it leads to different actions. Our actions lead to results, and our results leads to life-changing experiences. So the first limiting belief that is stopping a ton of people from writing their bestseller is that they don't associate as a writer. They say, Jake, I'm not a writer, so I can't write a book. Well, when I was getting ready to write my first book, I didn't associate as a writer either. As a matter of fact, I hated writing papers in college. I despised them. I put them off. I just didn't want to do them. But eventually, what I had to recognize in myself was, yes, I may not associate as a writer just yet, but I do associate as somebody and identify as somebody who believes in my message. And so I knew that my message, my desire to have an impact, my desire to share a message was greater than my dislike for writing. And the minute I was honest with myself about that, then all of the doubts about writing, about not being good enough as a writer, of not liking liking writing went out the door. And I became an author a few months later. And so it's really important here that even if you don't identify as a writer, that's okay. There are other ways to do it. And the key thing here is to notice, if you have that desire for impact, that desire to share the message, the desire to use this to grow your business, that needs to be greater than your dislike of writing, and you will be able to continue to move forward. But there are also many other ways that can help you when you feel this way. And one of them is you can hire people to do things for you in the book process to make you more legit. Okay? I recommend people hire editors, formatters, designers. You don't have to do it all on your own. As a matter of fact, once I hired an editor, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the easiest thing in the world, because an editor will make you look more legit and professional. The second thing here is like, look, it's called a best-selling book. I don't know about you, when I look at the charts, I go to best-selling books. I don't go to best-written books, right? It's a best-selling book, not a best-written book. And in today's age, most people want to read something that is shorter, that is more conversational, not some fancy 300+ page book with tons of data. No, people want to hear your story, your experience, what you know, and that's just what you've lived. That's what you've already taught. And so those are the types of books that are selling really, really well. Books that are 100 to 200 pages are the cream of the crop, 200, 300 next. But anything outside of that range really doesn't move the needle as much. The other thing that I want to share here is, if you don't find yourself great at writing, maybe you're better at communicating and speaking. You can speak your book. There's tech available where you can speak your book, transcribe it, and then edit it. If you have more money and you don't necessarily have time, or you have money but you don't want to write, you can hire a ghostwriter who will speak and write it in your voice and really help you bring your message to life, but you don't actually have to do the writing. So if you're not a writer, that's okay. We just have to recognize these different things and stop lying to ourselves that there's no other option. Moving on. Number 2 is this idea, this limiting belief that I don't have a following, and therefore no one's going to buy my book. I'm not a celebrity, so who am I to write this book? Now, when I released Elevate Beyond, I didn't have a business at the time. I was a 22-year-old assistant for the Lakers. I had no email list. I had a minimal Instagram following. And all I did was said, you know what? I can worry about this. I can use this as an excuse and be like, oh, I'll do it when. But what I realized was that I just need to focus on my core people. And I'll work my way up from there. If the book's good enough, people will hear about it. If I believe in the book, I will promote it. And so what I did was I launched this book with what I had, doubled down on the people that already cared about me. So I reached out to every single person via DM, via text message, via email, and that was enough to power my book and to start spreading the word on a global scale. Over time, did that improve? Yes. That led to me getting my book in different college classes where it was required reading. It led to my book getting picked up at conferences. And so it's really important to note, it's not the size of the following that matters or determines your book's success. It's about the message you share and what you're willing to do to get the word out there. All right. So yes, you may not have a big following. Who cares? That following will come. Maybe the book is what you need to build that following. But don't let having a smaller following stop you, because there's people out there who do follow you. There's people out there who do support you, and allow them to support you. Reach out to them and ask for their support. But don't say, I don't have a big enough following, so I'm not good enough to write a book. No, that's not true. You are good enough. And you just got to start with where you're at the time that you are doing the damn thing. Now, the third limiting belief that a lot of people come to me with, and this is super, super common when it comes to entrepreneurs and people who are running multi-6 or 7-figure businesses, they say, Jake, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time in the day to run my business full time and then spend all this time on a book. And I get that. I get that, because what we hear in society, and this is what I thought too, is I heard this in society, is like, I had this image, and whenever I love rom-coms, and whenever I'm watching a rom-com and there's an author in it, it's like they go away and they lock themselves in a cabin for 2 years. And they spend 2 years working and editing and throwing up all the trash in the trash bin from all the crumpled paper and terrible ideas. They come back 2 years later with this beautiful masterpiece. The world has completely changed, and all of a sudden their book gets launched into the world and it's a major success. That's unnecessary. All right, sure. Do some people do that? Yeah, but that's more of the older way, the traditional way of doing things. We have the ability, okay? We have the ability to write a book faster than we've ever done before. And that's what we show entrepreneurs how to do. That's literally why we created this entire program, Big Idea to Bestseller, was to help people who are super busy be able to write a book in about an hour a day. We have people that finish their rough draft in 27 days, working on it for about an hour a day. And so I don't have time. No. Hard truth here. You make the time for the things that are most important to you. So if writing a book is a top priority because you want to grow your business and really impact people, then you'll find a way to make the time. We have a client, she literally woke up in the middle of the night and locked herself in the bathroom while she was on vacation because she wanted to get this book done by the time frame she had set. Now, do I love hearing that story? Yes. Is that absolutely necessary? No. But if you want to make something happen, you will find the time to do it. And truth be told, there's never going to be a perfect time. There's never going to be a perfect time. You know, you could say, oh, tomorrow, oh, next month. But there's always going to be things going on. There's always going to be things that come up. There's always going to be things that capture your attention. So I don't have time. No, you do have time. You just have to decide that writing a book is worth your time. Because we're all busy. We really are busy. But that's why we've boiled down the process to giving you a very clear step-by-step process so that you know what to expect, when to expect it, how long it should take, and exactly what you need to do. The next common limiting belief that people say to me is, Jake, I want to write a book, but I don't even know what to write about. Where do I even begin? And I love this one because I ask them, I go straight to them and I say, have you ever helped somebody on the topic that you want to write the book on? And they always are like, yeah, I've helped people. And I go, can you help more people? And they go, yeah. And I'm like, okay, great. You have enough ready to go. You're ready to write this book. The key thing here to remember is when you're writing a book, and you're using it to grow your business, oftentimes the book is what you coach on. It's what you teach on. It's what your expertise is on. It's what your transformation was. And so you're already teaching it. You already love talking about it. You've already have memories and experiences to share. And you might even, if you're listening to this, you might even be getting paid already to teach the thing you want to write a book on. So I don't know what to write about. Yes, you do. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't have to create something wildly different. Look, I was watching a video by Russell Brunson, who's the creator of ClickFunnels, and he was talking about this concept that we will pay different amounts of money for the exact same information. And he was telling a story about Think and Grow Rich, and he was telling it about how he bought a book for $10. Amazing, great. But he never read it for 6 months. About 6 months later, he bought the ebook or the audiobook or whatever it was for $100. And then he bought a program on it. And the key thing here to recognize that if you already have a program, if you already have a course, or you know that you already want to be coaching, you can take that and turn that into your book. And it could be very, very similar because you're going to want to warm up your audience anyways. So you already love it. You already talk about it. You've probably already gotten paid for it. You know you can help somebody. You know exactly what to write about. Let's just extract it. And that's the key to doing it. Not stalling because you don't know what to write about, but taking action so that you can move forward due to what you can write about. And the last thing I'm going to mention on this particular topic is you do not have to be the best in the world to write a book on that topic. You just need to be 1 to 2 steps ahead of your ideal reader. Because if you could take your ideal reader from a 2 to an 8, well, that is life-changing for that reader. And that's going to get them asking for more and wanting more. So I don't know what to write about. Yes, you do. Your life, your experience, your memories, your testimonials, your success stories, the people you've helped, the methodology you've done, the transformation you've been through. You know what to help or what to write about. You just got to now figure out how to dial it in. So the next one here, and I got a couple more of these limiting beliefs. The next one here is I'm not successful enough yet. Okay, I'm not successful enough yet. Who am I to write this book? I haven't done XYZ. I haven't made $1 million a year yet. Well, I was an assistant for the Lakers for 1 year, okay? For 1 year removed from school when I released my first book. And I wasn't successful in the career development space. I wasn't successful as an author. I had no prior experience. But what I did have was this idea that what if the book could be the stepping stone to getting me there? What if that was the action step that could help me move forward? And so maybe for you, maybe you're just starting out your business, or maybe you're trying to get to the next level and you don't feel you're successful enough yet. Well, a book can be that stepping stone for you, okay? And the truth is, your book will be as successful as you make it. The more people you want to inspire, the more books you're going to give away, the more podcasts you're going to get on to talk about your book. And so I'm not successful enough yet. You can write a book just beginning. You can write a book when you pivot. You can write a book to take yourself from 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 figures. But I'm not successful enough yet. That's a limiting belief on your end. People want to read a book. They want to read it in your voice. They want to hear it from you. They want to see you have the answers. Now, the final one that I'm going to talk about, and this comes up a decent amount, is, Jake, I don't have a publishing deal, so can I even write a book? Well, first of all, so what if you don't have a publishing deal? We are in the world of self-publishing. We can, each of us, write and launch a book on our own accordance. We can have 100% control. We can use the resources at our disposal to self-publish. It's easier than ever before. And truth be told, I recommend to most people that they don't need a publishing deal because that will slow them down. A publishing deal could take 12 to 18 to 24 months to get your book done, but self-publishing, you can get it done in 4 to 6 months. Depending on your outcome, depending on your following, depending on all of these factors, there may be pros and cons. And maybe we'll do an episode on traditional versus self-publishing in the future. And if that's something you want, let me know that that's something you want. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't have a publishing deal, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's easier than ever before to self-publish. All you need is commitment to the process. All you need is the roadmap. All you need to do is say, look, I just want to share my information. I'm going to take what I already know, what I already teach, what I already get paid doing, and I'm going to put that into a book. And I'm going to sell that. And I'm going to inspire and impact so many lives. So I don't have a publishing deal. You don't need one in today's age. That's the beautiful thing. You don't need one. And so look, all of these beliefs that I'm talking about, and there are more, but all of these beliefs come up over and over and over again. And these beliefs, 1, 2, all of them, they might be stopping you from writing your dream book. Now, what would happen? I want you to imagine this. What would happen if you remove these limiting beliefs, or we reframe these limiting beliefs, and you start to say, you know what? Yes, I can. I don't have enough time. I'll make time. I don't have a publishing deal. So what? Right? And what if we said, it's go time? Imagine what your life would be like in the next 4 to 6 months instead of the previous 4 to 6 months once you say, I'm in. You're going to start writing your book. You're going to start having additional content. People are going to start to see you as the authority. You're going to start bringing in more leads. You're going to start to do all of these things, but it all starts by you saying, let's go. I'm ready. So there you have it, another episode in the books. Now, if you want more information on how to write your book, you're like, Jake, I am breaking through these limiting beliefs. I'm ready to get this thing started. Help me. Well, go to jakekelfer.com/book training, and you will get instant access to a training on how to write and launch a best-selling book in 1 hour a day. So that's what I got for you today is let's break through these limiting beliefs. Let's rework these limiting beliefs. Let's re-understand. I don't even know really how to frame that, but let's rethink the way that we can operate. We have the opportunity right in front of us to self-publish an amazing book, to create the book we've always wanted, to impact as many people as we possibly can, and to grow the business. So if you want to get this training, it's instant access. Go to jakekelfer.com/book training. I'd love to see you there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But this is what this podcast is all about. We're getting real and raw. We're sharing stories and experiences. We're giving you the hard truth. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, let's go!